For my daughter's birthday party this year, I made 60 sugar cookies. I chose sugar cookies as they are the best type of cookie for keeping its shape while baking. If you want to have a go at making some, I will add my basic sugar cookie recipe in the description box below. Due to the amount needed, I baked and froze the cookies undecorated 3 weeks before the party. As long as they are well covered, they will keep in the freezer for a month. I always use grease-proof paper when rolling out cookies, as I find they stick less and it's easier to clean up afterwards. These were the biggest of the two types of toppers I used, so chose my cutter size based on them. After baking, I left the cookies to cool completely before freezing them. If not freezing them, you still need to make sure they are completely cool before decorating. I took my cookies out of the freezer the morning I needed them, making sure they were fully defrosted before decorating. To begin, I popped the fondant in the microwave for 30 seconds to loosen it up a bit before rolling, as it was too hard to work with. It's always a good idea to double check the size you need before you begin cutting. To help the fondant keep its shape, I left the fondant to firm up for 30 minutes before placing them onto the cookies. I used a tiny bit of jam to glue the fondant on, but you could also use marmalade or chocolate spread instead. Make sure you don't add too much though, else you run the risk of jam spewing out the edges, which is what happened to a few of mine. Carefully press the fondant onto the cookies. Cutting out the rice paper toppers was probably the most time-consuming part of making these cookies. To save time, some places do sell already cut toppers. Make sure your scissors are clean and completely dry before cutting, else your toppers will disintegrate. To stick the toppers onto the cookies, I dabbed a little water onto the fondant. The My Little Pony toppers were quite thick and didn't want to stay stuck down, so I turned the cookies over to dry flat. The Minion toppers were thinner and smudged easily, so once on, I tried not to touch or move them around too much. After 30 minutes of drying, I couldn't wait any longer to see how they turned out. Finally, to keep them fresh, I wrapped the individual cookies with wrapping film.